Dr. John Doy was an Englishman who came from Kingston upon Hull, England, and he came to Lawrence. He was in the first immigrant aid party here.
We made a bargain with the captain of the Polar Star in St. Louis to take us to Kansas City for $12 a head. At Lexington, we were warned that a large party was waiting for us in Kansas City and would give us a warm reception of such a character as might induce us to go back. On nearing Kansas City, our little army of 29 was drawn up on the deck with rifles and revolvers all ready to give a fitting response to the promised warm reception, but we found no one to molest us.
1859, he was asked to lead a group of African Americans who had shown him the free papers and to take them further north, and he was going to be taking them as far as Holton, Kansas.
During the winter of 1858-1859, several attempts were made to kidnap a number of colored persons from Lawrence. The first attempt was on Charlie Fisher, a barber. He was seized and put in a carriage. As he was driven off, he jumped from the carriage and was shot at by the ruffians, but evaded capture. Money was raised, and a plan was made to remove them to Iowa.
What happened at Oskaloosa, they were surrounded and outnumbered by men. Doy and his son put up a struggle and also just realized, they were outnumbered. They couldn't fire, they couldn't do much.
As I advanced towards our attackers, I demanded their business. Some of them cried, "Shoot him! Shoot him! I told them to shoot me if they want, but do not shoot into the wagons, as there were women and children inside."
Dr. John Doy and his son Charles were taken to the jail at Platte City, Missouri. The freedom seekers were all sold back into slavery.
And Abbott got a group together that decided we're going to go up and break him out of jail somehow.
As we were being removed to St. Joseph for trial, my wife appeared and placed herself inside the carriage. The jailer asked that I remove her, as he would not place his hands upon her.
Men of Platte City, when I married my husband 26 years ago, I promised to stick by him while he had a button on his coat, and I mean to do it. Do you think I would desert him in this extremity? If you do, you are quite mistaken, I assure you.
While in the St. Joseph jail, I saw the slave traders arrive with Charlie Fisher. The next day, a Mr. Hutchinson claimed to own him. When Mr. Fisher refused to acknowledge his master, he was taken outside, stripped, made to lie face down on a chair, with two pieces of tin about 16 inches long, fastened together at one end and rounded into a handle. Hutchinson gave Charlie 20 terrible blows on the back. Charlie was shrieking all the time, and Hutchinson cried out, "Do you know me now?"
Charles Doy was found not guilty. Dr. Doy was found guilty and sentenced to 5 years in Jefferson City. On July 22, 1859, 10 men, including Charles Doy, saddled up and rode into fame.
3 men appear at the jail. 2 of them pretend to be the captors of a horse thief.
At the jail door, we were received by others. When I reached the street, I fell, unable to stand from weakness and disease. 2 men took me under the arms and carried me. At the banks of the Missouri River, drawn by our voices, 2 night police came towards us. The light of their lanterns revealed our boats, and we hastened to them, rowing away to Kansas.
And they managed to get him out of the jail, and there is rage.
And by the time they come back into Lawrence, the people in Lawrence have read about this in the St. Joe paper. and are all out in the street, to Massachusetts Street.
Thus, thanks to the ingenuity, the courage and perseverance of those 10 noble specimens of Kansas free men, was I, though crippled and diseased by ill usage, once more a free man, restored to my family and to the soil I love so well.